What up, guys? James from Bolt Bros here to talk about another player from the NFL 2025 draft coming up and an elite defensive lineman, Mason Graham, number 55 from Michigan. This is a guy that I've kept my eye on for quite some time, starting to last year, thinking this guy would be an absolute disruptor in the NFL. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Chat more about Mason Graham. Bolt Bros, let's go. Bolt Bros. Once again, guys, appreciate all the love and support. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel if you've not. We appreciate all you do for us, and we'd love to be able to hear about Mason Graham in the comments below. Where do you think he's going to go? But let's just jump into what he's all about, man. This guy's an absolute freak, in my opinion. He's a guy that has the ability to be an absolute menace on the line, a guy that I've kept an eye on for quite some time. And this guy could do it all, in my opinion. He could play up and down the line and everything, too. So I kind of put him as like a number one defensive tackle in the draft, number two defensive lineman. He could play in a lot of positions. He could work all up and down the line for you to be a disruptor. So he's a great weapon to move around. Top 10 type pick. He's not getting out of the top 10 at all. I would hope that he would find a way to the Chargers. That ain't going to happen, in my opinion. But he's a first rounder for sure and an absolute beast to be able to have on your team. So his strengths wise, very difficult to be blocked. Bottom line, works well in double teams and one-on-one. He cannot be stopped. This guy knows how to outwork players and knows how to find a way to be a pocket disruptor, which is his next strength there. Bottom line, he knows how to control the pocket. He knows how to be able to keep a offensive line to focus on him, be a focal point for your defensive line. And also, he has the ability to make sure the pocket is not comfortable for a quarterback. And he is an absolute menace. He is a guy that will outwork you. He was a guy that be able to disrupt the whole entire O-line and make him an absolute focal point here. Now, he does get off the line well to attack gaps, which is also a part of the whole pocket disruptor conversation with him, that he has the ability to find gaps within the line and to be able to make sure he creates pressure all around on the O-line and the quarterback. So love to be able to see it. This guy's an absolute menace all around. I love to call him a menace all the time because every time I watch him, he's just great at what he does. Weaknesses, somewhat shorter arms for the NFL. I get it. There's some people that maybe have a little bit of shorter arms. I wouldn't necessarily say he's got that shorter arms, in my opinion. I mean, there's a pretty fair amount of players out there that do have, shorter arms and actually have extremely good careers. So I'm not going to really knock much on that for him. But, needs to work on his hand positioning to command the line. And I don't know if that's something to do where maybe his arms aren't long enough in comparison to, say, a 6'5" lineman that has a much longer arms, that he just can't really work with his shorter arms to be able to get in the right positions. But that's something I think that he just tries to outwork players all the time. He does a good job of having his motor very high to be able to get around, but I think that's something that he's going to get worked on quite a bit going into the NFL with some good coaching. And he can be a little bit too tall sometimes at the line. It needs to lower his pad level a bit, so he gets caught up a little bit where basically any O-lineman will just stop him right at the line if he's a little too tall. You got to make sure you kind of work a little bit more in those gaps, work at a lower pad level to be able to penetrate that O-line for sure. So once again, his metrics are 6'3", 318 pounds. He's a big dude all around, somewhat smaller of a stature, but I'm not going to really knock on that by any means. I think, once again, what he does is all about outworking everybody. I feel like he's a very blue-collar kind of guy, gets into the dirt, gets right in the trenches, and just puts in 110% every single time. His speed is off. Nothing to be able to say, take home that he's a speedster by any means. 5.10 40-yard dash. So, but once again, I don't think his position is designed to be able to be a pass rusher. It's to be a disruptor. And that's what you want. A guy that could be a great run stopper, a guy that could be a disruptor at the O-line, make it harder on the O-line and quarterback to be comfortable. Now, interested teams, I don't think he's going to get out of the top 10, in my opinion. Jets, Panthers, Saints pretty much are just the exact strategy of picks. So basically, I think it's pick 7, 8, 9, or it could be 8, 9, 10, I believe. But either which way, those are the guys that I feel like that could be where they're at. Yeah, it's 7, 8, 9 for the picks, and I feel he's going to fit perfectly in that position there too. You got to think Aaron Glenn over at the Jets. It makes a ton of sense to be able to build that D line even further, just like what he had at the Lions. I think it would be a dream pick for the Jets to be able to pick up Mason Graham. So, but once again, I'm a big fan of Mason Graham. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player. I'd love to be able to hear about you and where you think he will end up landing in the NFL. Throw your comments below. Let us know what you think. And once again, James from Bolt Bros. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast.